So I've been very impressed by the evolution because I came here for the first time 3 years ago, and I've seen not just a lot of scientific progress, I've also seen many more interactions between the different groups involved, and quite a productive discussion between the clinicians and the basic researchers, which is really one of the main goals of Synapsy. So the main strengths are that you are bringing together outstanding basic neuroscience that studies basically the fundamental processes underlying how the brain functions, together with outstanding clinical work. So that really gives you an opportunity to get deep insights into the mechanisms underlying psychiatric disorders, and as a result in the future, new cures for these disorders. Well, weaknesses, you can also always identify areas that are not as developed, sort of. For example, there is a clear strength at the level of schizophrenia. The animal modeling for disorders like autism and depression is maybe not quite as evolved and developed as in the case of schizophrenia, but that's partially due to the fact that in the case of schizophrenia, there are already very strong genetic models of schizophrenia, which makes the animal modeling much easier. So as genes become more prominent in the case of autism and depression, that same trajectory will also take place. So I think even though the genetic is still a little bit weak in the case of depression and autism, I think we're getting there. Well, I think in science, the more collaborative and interdisciplinary groups are, the better. So I would recommend that Synapsy stays in close contact with the other similar enterprises that are taking place in various parts of the world, either informally or via colloquia, consortia, meetings that would enable basically the researchers at Synapsy to also stay in close contact with what's happening in similar enterprises elsewhere in the world. So that, I think, is something that's already taking place, as seen by the fact that there is now an inclusion of 2 Canadian researchers from Laval, but I think that could even be broadened further.